Hi, I'm Andy from Team Old School. As you may have noticed, the Celica has been missing lately from the Build Battle series. This has prompted several questions about the status of the car. Unlike Team New Class, we are restoring and respraying our vehicle, which takes a considerable amount of time and effort, especially as the car has sat as long as ours has. As you're about to see in this video, we deliver the Celica to Prestige Panelcraft and assess the amount of work involved in getting this car back to its former glory. PPS are great at what they do, which is shown by just how incredibly busy they are. They're so busy, in fact, that they haven't actually managed to start the car. But we do have a knight in shining armour in the form of Luke Wilson, PPS's chief painter, who is now going to take the job on by himself outside of normal working hours. Before we handed the car over to Luke, we fitted wider spaces to both the front and the rear. This in turn caused an issue where the damping had actually failed on the original coilovers and was now rubbing on the arches. So we invested in a brand new set of Teen Flex Z coilovers, sourced and fitted by Rich, my good friend from RG Motorsport. So I'd like to say a big thanks to him for fitting us in around his hectic Evo schedule. Below is RG Motorsport's contact details and social media handles for all your modifying needs. Thank you for your patience. It's now our time to shine. Hi and welcome back to this week's episode of D-Class Build Battle. We're here at PPS, Prestige Panelcraft and Servicing, who are taking the brave job on of the bodywork on the Celica. I'd like to introduce you to John and Luke of PPS. I met these gents many years ago when they restored my 1967 split screen camper. And they're the brave gents that are going to take on the Celica. Right, so here's the car, guys. Obviously I've sent you a few photos of it, but it's the first time I've seen it in the flesh. So do you want to take a look around and let us know what you think?
I think it's a good solid starting base. I mean, we can see where the previous work's been done before, which is obviously going to need to be sort of redone, sort of taking right back to basics.
And it's windows out, I presume?
All windows out. All windows will be coming out, so we can get any sort of address any sort of corrosion or anything like that, which it doesn't to me. It looks pretty solid. It doesn't look like
it's not too bad. I've tackled the little box section here just ahead of bringing it down to you. Just wanted to get the only, what I consider the only metal work really that hopefully we'll have to tackle together out of the way. I mean, there's rust on the front of both the doors. What do you reckon, Luke? Is this a case of kind of getting them off first and taking a look?
Until you start digging in, you're not really going to know what you're involved with. You know, worst case, you're going to cut it out. But again, until you start playing around and digging in, because you know what little gems are hidden. Especially like cracks like this. It's probably been sat so long. It has. It hasn't moved for 12 years, and it was built about 16 years ago. So it's lasted its time, but obviously it's weathered quite badly, but it's just take back and see what we got and do as much repairs. Luckily, again, it's fiberglass in a lot of places, so fiberglass is nice to repair.
So we've picked on the colour. We've decided on the colour, haven't we?
We've got a colour. We'll save that for another episode.
So that will be coming out in due course, which is a lovely colour, and it will bring it, modernise it into the 21st century, which is good. And it will be a one-off car that will turn heads wherever it goes. And it's going to be very exciting, as I say, very exciting job to be involved with it.
So the rear wheels were sat too far in the arches, so I put some large spaces on the rear. That then pushed the wheels out to the track that we want, but then found that they were catching on the arches. Raised it up thinking that would be the end of it, only to find that the original coilovers were knackered. So here we are, a good few £100 later with new coilovers. I've raised it up front and rear so that it helps you guys with the paintwork. I've also got rid of all the arch liners as well. We've put spaces on the fronts. So she rides really well. She's not scrubbing anywhere. Gives us a chance. One thing I would like to mention, if we can, is on the front bumper, you'll see that it's got the stress fractures from the headlights. I don't know if there's anything we can really do with that. The front bumper's got play in it. Obviously, it catches a lot. I don't know if we can put some more strengthening bars behind.
Do, with that, I mean, this is always a weak point on any car, which is around the headlight. We can reinforce that from behind.
I've got new canards to go on, new struts to go on, so I'll bring them down. Really would like to. Obviously there was a little bit of damage from when I hit that bag of stones on the way to work. So
I think we're going to refurbish it as well as we can.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic if that's possible, that'd be brilliant.
We're going to stick with the max power mesh style as well.
Definitely keep the mesh. Oh, definitely have mesh. It won't be this mesh. I'll get some new, more modernised black with a different pattern. Really, I think it's had its day. Also, there's a couple of trick toys I wouldn't mind adding. I've got a box in there from Flip Plate, which has got a motorised front number plate. So if we've got the depth for it, that will sit underneath here. We'd have to cut into the mesh, but if it's possible with the strengthening bar behind it, whether we can have that motorised out and up, that'd be a cool little sort of max power feature.
Try and make something underneath there.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Well, that might help us with the strengthening. Give us something to kind of bolt to.
Link it all into one, so it's all in one piece then. But yeah, no, should be able to beef that up.
That'd be cool. Do you see any other problems looking around the car, guys?
I mean, it's certainly got its areas that need addressing first. Before we do anything else. I mean, behind the mirrors you can see we've got corrosion starting there. We don't know how far yet until we take the mirrors off to see, but it is most probably surface.
Do you think these are salvageable, the mirrors themselves? I know they are comical in their own right, but they're...
It's the top lacquer that's gone on them. I mean, the actual carbon itself looks fine.
Obviously, I'm going to keep the wheels.
Yes.
Spent all that time getting them right with the stance and whatnot. That'll be the last thing we refurb. There's no point having them done and then kept here. So it's only going to get dusty and whatnot. And then you've got to worry about protecting them.
Exactly that.
We'll tackle that after. I don't know if you remember from the images, we did have the APR spoiler. We've since taken that off.
And we're keeping that off now.
We're keeping it off, are we?
Yeah, I think we are. I know it's not in keeping with the originality, but I feel like it's a bit more of a modern look. It also seems to make the car look lower at the back and wider. Yeah, if we can get like a carbon trim.
Flick. Just to finish it off, really.
I'll have to take a look, see what they can do width-wise on that, but that's a fantastic idea. And can we lose the rear wiper as well?
You're fine.
No, that wasn't so. My good friend who I obviously bought the car from, his dad filled it in once it started to get water ingress. It was just a preventative measure. And also that door, you can just see from here actually, if you look down the line of the car, it's kind of...
I mean, it's like it's
bowed out at the top.
It's bowed out at the top of the door. I mean, the lines down the side of the door follow quite nicely until we get to the top. And it's so it might, as I say, it's probably going to be a bit of adjustment. It might be adjustment on the latch. It could be adjustment where we need to tweak the door. It being metal on the door, we can do that. But I'm not too worried about that at the minute. I mean, it's not going to need a replacement door. Let's put it that way.
Great. Well, thanks for being a part of it, gents. Really appreciate it. And I guess
we're excited to go.
The only thing to do now is hand over the keys.
Thank you very much.
That's the Celica handed over to PPS. I'm sure it's in safe hands. Next time you see the car, we'll be halfway through the paint process.
On the next Team Old School Build Battle episode.
Get involved, really. Excited to be included in this project.
But you need to really be there because otherwise you're going to look really little.
If I stand here, I look tall.
Have we got a box?
Have we got a box?
I'll come in on you, Andy, and then when you introduce them, I'll just step back so all of you in frame.
Yeah, cool, okay.
Cool.